Okay, we are at the Museum Village Museum. The chauffeur.
Cool. Can we start it? Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Here we are. We are in Village Museum.
Okay.
Oh. And at the Village Museum is where we can learn how Tanzania's people live. Because here in Tanzania, we have more than 120 tribes. And each tribe has its own traditional culture and language. Okay. So some of those tribes are located here. So among 120, here there are about 40. Okay. Those are the largest and famous tribes. Okay. So we are starting here. From there we'll be walking around to those houses. Okay. So we are starting here. So these are most of the things which you use at home. And you can see this one here. This is the calabash. So the calabash was used for keeping water and milk. Because at that time they didn't have refrigerators, so they just put in the drinking water. Why? Because the calabash doesn't allow the heat to get inside, so it can make the water to be cold. Yeah. And this one here, this is the bark of tree and used for keeping some spices. This one here is for the filtering. The filter. This is the mortar for the spices. Yeah. This one here for the grinding coconuts. Especially the inner, just take the coconut, the inner part of the coconut, just be grinded from this corner. So most of those women, the time when they're preparing food, they sit here, they grind here, just at the inner parts. From there, they mix a little bit with water, and they filter by this one in order to get exactly, just to get coconut juice, special for cooking.
This one,
Yeah, this is the big mortar. Yeah, this is the small for the spices, but this is the big one here. This is the wood plate. Even if nowadays we have these modern ones, but they use the wood plate. The big ones was for the family, when the family sit together. Sometimes they just put some barbecue, then they eat together. Okay. But this one here, normally used, especially for those people who are living around the coastal region, because their main activity is fishing. So this is the fishing boat. This one here in Tanzania, there are some other places where they are good at making honey. So this is the bee hives. Oh. So they make a lot of this. Oh. Then they make some small holes. They put on top of trees just to attract the bees. So wherever the bee get in is where they are going to make honey.
So you say beehive. America we say beehive.
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 Also, you keep this and they make the honey in here. But how you get the bees out?
Say again?
How you get them out?
No, this is the example, but it's not really like this. They don't use, these are the barks of tree, but they don't use the bark of tree. They use the wood. Okay. They make by using wood. Okay. But because always they make big and heavy, they cannot put here. So this is the example of.
Okay, beehive. Yeah, I know what this is.
All right, this for the agriculture.
Corn.
As I told you, 75% of Tanzanians depending on agriculture. Here you can see these two calabash. This for the keeping water. And normally they just put in this wood, so mother and father. So mother carry on this side and father carry on this side when they are walking. Why? Because the place where they live and the place where they do cultivate, it's far. It's like maybe you're living here at the Village Museum, but you go to cultivate at the National Museum. So they used to walk for the distance. So sometimes on the way they can get thirst. Wherever they get thirst is when they drink water. And also this one here and this one here for the cultivating. Yeah. But this one here and this one here for the cutting some grasses. But this one here for the cutting roots, because especially tree roots. Yeah. Because with the time when you cultivate by using this one here, if there are some tree roots, you cannot cut by using this because it's not heavy enough. So they are using the heavy ones. Okay. Yeah. This one here, for those people who are keeping the animals. There are some other tribes they do keep a lot of animals for the business, like Maasai, Gogo tribe, and some others. Maybe one family can have even 200 cows, 200 goats, 200 sheep. It's a lot. So sometimes what they do for those cows, this is the bell they make on the neck. This is the cowbell.
Okay.
So
okay.
if some of those are maybe the group, the time when you take them for the grazing, if others go to another direction, the owner, the time when he needs to find where others there, they will gonna hear the bell, so they will know that exactly where are they.
Okay.
Yes. This one here for the fishing. So this was the fishing trap, because at that time they didn't have they didn't have a fishing net. So they were using this one here, because nowadays they use the fishing net. But at that time they were using this stick. So wherever the fish get in, water comes out. So the fish remain. This one here was just used.
Paddle?
Yeah, exactly. Just to move from one place to another.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. I've seen these.
All right, so here, these are the ethics groups of Tanzania. The one I was just telling you, we have about 120. Those are here.
Wow.
So you can see here is my home. I'm from Kilimanjaro. I'm Chaga by tribe. So Chaga is my tribe. So people from Kilimanjaro are Chaga. And my colleague Michael is from around this Makwe. Yes. And it's just from here. So we are from different tribes. So I speak my language, and he speaks also his language. Because among those 120 languages are not similar. They are completely different, and we cannot communicate each other through those languages. Otherwise, if you came from the same tribe. But if you come from the different tribes, we cannot. That's why we do communicate by using Swahili, because Swahili is our national language.
Okay.
These here are some examples of some houses from different tribes. This you can see the Maasai house. Most of the Maasai, their houses are made by mud, but roofed by grasses. And there are another tribe here. This is the Waha. The Waha tribe, even Chaga tribe, their houses made by grasses. It's the full grasses. And the good example is that one there. You can see that one?
Yeah, I see that one.
Exactly. That's the Waha. So most of the tribes, they were just using this material. And this is the Nyakyusa house. There are certain tribes located on the southern part of the country. Wherever you go there, their house is made by bamboo stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the bamboo stick.
Strong.
And wherever just go there, they have a lot. So that's why they used to make the houses by using the bamboos, because it's among the material which is easy for them, but they're roofed by grasses. And sometimes they make by using this shape, or sometimes they make the roundish. But all of them roofed by grasses. And there are some other tribes that just using the clay, but roofed by grasses. They can just make this shape or the roundish shape. But both of them are clay. But there are some other tribes that just make their houses by using mud and grasses. They mix together.
Okay.
Yeah. So most of the tribes, their houses were made by this type of material. So they didn't use the iron sheet, because at that time they didn't have iron sheet. That's why they were using grasses for roofing. These some weapons which used by just for hunting or for security. Traditionally, they're just using the spear, and also they use this one as a protector, just to protect. But and made by skin. It's the skin of the animal, but it's very hard. And also, you can see this one here. Normally, it's very sharp, and you can see this. So sometimes whenever you fight with the with the enemy, if you use this one here, if you beat with the stomach, if it gets in, when you take,
Pull out.
according to this, takes each and everything in your stomach. So it's very dangerous. And this is the bulb. So normally the bulb we use also by fighting. Wherever you see the Maasai, you will see them just putting here, just for the security. But this is the arrow. Normally these arrows they do put some poison, but the poison from tree. There are some trees poison, yeah.
Okay.
Because at that time they didn't have these other poisons. So exactly. So what they use, because at the time when they hunt, wherever they shoot the animal cannot go far. It just fall down because of the poison. The same to the thief. Wherever you shoot the thief or bandits, it means cannot run away. We run for some few meters, then we will fall down.
Oh, so they still use arrows at houses?
Second,
You still use these at houses?
there are some other tribes they do.
Okay.
Yes. And so for the just to protect themselves because of the poison, they make this case or the bag. So the case they just put it inside, so that they cannot, wherever it's injured themselves, it means they can die. But the poison is not poison if you eat; it's poison if it goes to your blood. That's why wherever you shoot the animal, it means you are going to eat the animal. But because the poison goes to the blood of that animal, can pass away. But wherever you eat, you cannot die.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's the problem when it goes to your blood.
Yeah.
Alright, so most of these things here are applicable here. Because whenever we walk around when we finish, we're gonna just go to that mango tree. This way we're gonna just enjoy the traditional dancing. And most of these here are used for entertainment. You can see this one here. Normally they just put on the waist. And you can see this one here. These are the seed from tree. They just wear on the neck. This is the horn of the certain animal known as a kudu. They use it as a trumpet. And also these shells they wear on the neck. You can see this one here. They use it as a piano. Traditionally, this one, the small one, this one. So it has different sound. And this one here, they wear on the feet. It's the bells, so it makes sound. So this one plus that one, when they dance with the drums,
You see everything
exactly.
come together.
And this one here for the ceremonial, and mostly
Tawala?
of the chief. Chief is the one allowed to use these things. You can see like this one here. Traditionally, they use for drinking local beer or local wine, but the one which decorated, it's special for the chief or for the leader of the group. He's the one allowed to drink by using this. But the one which is not decorated, is for the normal people. The same with the seat. Also, this is the seat for the chief. That's why it has decoration as decorated. But you can see this one here with no decoration. Anyone can sit here, but not here. Also, this is the walking stick. But the walking stick, this one is different from other because the other doesn't have the bed and snake. You can see the snake. Then you can see the bed.
And the
But
bird.
but other ones you cannot see this one.
What does that mean? The snake and the bird.
Yeah, I mean it shows like it seems like the snake hunt the bird.
Okay.
And this one here, this is the spear, but this spear is different from the one we saw there. There we have seen just for the hunting and security, but this one here for the ceremony. So the chief, the time when they are dancing, he hold and dance with it.
Okay.
Yeah, but not for the hunting. That's why it's easy to differentiate the one used for the chief and the normal one for the hunting. This one here normally puts on the chief's house, especially on the door, outside. So whenever you go to the chief's house, you're gonna see this one. But in normal people, you cannot see. So this shows that this is the house of the chief.